Today we're going to walk you through the journey of how we turn $4 into a $1,500 PlayStation Vita game.
Thanks to a great day at yard sales, a gaming expo, and a little luck, we finally have the most expensive JRPG on the PS Vita.
Without having to pay a fortune.
AW Phoenix Festa is an action RPG based off of the Asterisk Wars anime series. It was delisted from the PlayStation Vita store in 2018, meaning you can no longer play it anymore unless you have this physical region-free copy.
So stay tuned to see how with a little perseverance, luck, and building good relationships, you too can add expensive gaming grails to your collection for basically free.
It all starts at yard sales, and we go to a lot of yard sales.
So the main thing we try to find at yard sales is video games. It's what we know the most, it's what we collect, it's what we get the most excited for.
Castlevania.
Woo.
And honestly, it's like the best thing to find in the wild.
It all started with this yard sale. Now we bought some sweet video games from the sale, but we came back later after we had some breakfast and went back for something different.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We're back. Do you have a price in mind for these pops?
Okay, so the ones in the front were $5 each. And then the ones that you guys are standing the closest by were $10 each.
Okay. So if this is your first time watching a video of ours, we are a game hunting and collecting couple. We play video games, we try to find them in the wild, and ultimately we want to add them to our collection for free. Primarily JRPGs and the like, but really any great game that we loved or from our childhood that brings us nostalgia, we're going to collect. But now let's cut back to that yard sale footage. So we've got about 100 pops. What do you think? What would you do for all the pops?
Give me an offer, because I'm not a haggler.
Now we don't know a whole lot about Funko Pops, but we know that they're extremely popular, and we have a couple of friends that are really into collecting them. So we sought out advice from some of our friends on buying the Funko Pops in whole and seeing what would be a good price range for us to just buy up the whole lot.
So we're lucky enough to have a friend that owns a comic book shop. So who better to give us advice than him? His name is Joe, and he owns Atomic Comics in Gilbert. And turns out that if we can buy them for around $4 each, then we can easily sell them to him for more than we paid for it. And that's a good deal.
We counted up how many of the pops that were on the blanket, the floor, which were deemed the $5 to $10 pops, and then she had some more pops up on the table that were around $50 a piece. I picked up some ones for me personally that I really enjoyed. We bundled it all together and made an offer of $4 a piece on the lower dollar valued ones.
Would you take 400?
We ended up picking up over 100 Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you do for this deck?
Okay, so instead of $250, you want to just do like $160?
How's that sound?
So
And
we
then
had four.
With the 400,
So
where are we at?
600?
Sure.
Okay.
Deal. So not knowing what we just did or if it was good, we took them all home and assessed all the values using an iPhone app called HobbyDB. This was great. It allowed us to scan the barcodes and kind of get a really quick assessment of what we have and what it might be worth.
We highly recommend that once you get everything back home to go ahead and assess each individual item and see if there's some kind of variance and see what kind of value you really got from your bulk pickup. Because you never know what you will find.
We paid 400 plus that about 150. So we paid
for the pops.
Yeah, $550 for the pops. This is worth $2,700. That's crazy. And we found this. Check this out. So then we found this, which is Greedo, and it said that there could be a really rare variant of this. Turns out the blue border one is the Vault Edition, and super rare. This one just recently sold for $1,500. Are you kidding me? $1,500. We're not Pops collectors. So let's be clear, there were a few releases of Greedo from Star Wars on the Funko Pop series. This one in particular though is an original blue box release and apparently pretty valuable. Now, there's a black border one that's super common and way less valuable. There's a few double packs, so this is pretty exciting.
Now we set aside the Greedo, and I picked out ones for my collection personally, mostly Sailor Moon. A couple of them were some cool TV show references and other video game themed pops. We took the rest of the 100 or so $4 a piece pops over to our friend Joe's shop to get those evaluated and trade them in.
Let's check it. Jeez.
So he made us an offer of $900 cash. So we made back all of our money immediately, same day, within hours. So we didn't have to store all those pops in our house for months, like trying to move them along.
So this is my buddy Joe. We actually play Magic together on Fridays, and he is the owner of this crazy shop.
Atomic Comics.
We can't stress enough the importance of building good relationships with your local game stores, be it comic book shops, video game shops. Really, when you work with them a lot, you end up making deals for each other pretty consistently, and it's just, we can't recommend that enough. And it's great making friends like this.
Yep, and it's, in my opinion, the best comic book shop and collector shop in town.
My opinion too.
Yeah. You're not biased at all.
No, not biased at all. We know we're the best.
Absolutely. So make sure you check them out if you haven't yet.
Now I know what y'all are thinking. We got lucky, right? We got a $1,500 valued Funko Pop that we paid $4 for. That's not how you build a video game collection. Here's the thing. We paid $550 for $2,700 worth of Funko Pops. That's not counting the Greedo. So we were able to immediately make our money back, empty our living room of all these Funko Pops, and still have this Greedo to take with us to trade or do something with in the future, or maybe sell. Worked out pretty nice.
Now this expensive Funko Pop, we were weighing out our options. Do we sell it online, take a cut there, risk returns? Do we try to sell it locally and meet up at like a bank or a safe location, wait for a buyer to hopefully pick it up? Or do we take it to a gaming expo?
Now, gaming expos like this, which is the SoCal Retro Gaming Expo, happen pretty frequently. They might not always be in your town, but they will come to an area near you pretty regularly, at least once a year. They sell things like Funko Pops, video games, toys, lots of other things, and they're full of vendors wanting to make deals, sell you stuff, and potentially make trades.
So would you do a bundle deal for these two in cash? Yeah. You take 1,000. I'll make sure it up. 1,000 cash right now. Yeah, let's do it.
We try to sell the pop directly to some pop vendors at the expo, and they are offering about a little under half, but that's okay. That's kind of what we expect at these expos. We just wanted to find something that we could just straight trade for.
Well, finally, through a lot of searching, we found a vendor that sold video games and Funko Pops. Lo and behold, he had AW Phoenix Festa for the PlayStation Vita. He had it priced at $1,500.
Oh my gosh, look!
Oh my goodness. That's the one right there.
That's the one we need! Now, $1,500, frankly, is more than what the game is worth. But at conventions like this, it's very common for vendors to mark up the prices a bit because they expect everyone to come in and negotiate. And that's just what we did.
So naturally, we asked him if he'd be willing to take this Greedo Funko Pop and trade it for his Vita RPG. It's important to point out that he actually had 2 copies, so there's a good chance that he was more likely to get rid of one of them for a decent deal. Considering the Greedo and the Vita game had about similar values. So through a little negotiation, an authenticity check, and a professional appraisal, we made the deal.
So what do you think? Think we have a deal?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Oh
thank
man.
you. This is exciting.
To recap, go to a lot of yard sales.
Bundle or buy in bulk whenever possible. It's going to bring your cost per item down significantly.
Build relationships with local shops.
Have a goal in mind when approaching a trade deal or a big purchase.
And negotiate at conventions.
Eventually, you'll achieve that goal.
Or you could just emulate that expensive game.
Thank you so much for watching, and remember, the couple that buys valuable gaming grails together for cheap stays together.
And if you want to watch the full video on that crazy yard sale, click here.
If you'd really like to see how that trade went down in more detail, click here.